Isandla, comrade, chairperson, to secretary, the entire BEC members, members of the council, members of the Azaph Nxumalo SADTU branch. Let me greet you all in the name of SADTU. I'm standing in front of you to do the awareness campaign. Today, I've selected that we will make you aware of malaria. Comrades, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Mkwena from the Department of Health to come and give us the awareness. Mr. Mkwena.
Niranza ko mipfuxela eka siku leri ra namuntlha ni khense ngopfu ku rambiwa leswaku hi ta va na xiyave eka ntirho lowu wu nga lulamisiwa wo saseka swonghasi. Ta kombela mi excuse maxawetelo na swi vona ku ri ku ni language leyi nga koho leyi ni nga si pasaka eka yona. Se ni nyikiwe nkarhi lowutsongo swinene, ta kombela ku wu tirhisa efficiently. Hina tanihi program ya malaria control, hina a goal leyi nga na yona sweswiwani leyi hi vitaka elimination. So a goal ya elimination, we are saying kuri hi lava kuri South Africa hi va na zero malaria cases. Zero malaria cases, we are referring to the local cases. Little, what we are saying is kuri once we see a case in South Africa, akubi kuri case leyi humaka eka matiko akelano ehandle. We do not want a case of malaria leyi yi nga ta humelela because it's a local case, meaning kuri a parasite ya hina la South Africa leyi nga vanga mavabyi lamaya, also even the vector mosquitoes ita hina la South Africa. We don't want local cases. Then eka Fumba leri or a goal leyiwani, as a department, there is no way that we can achieve elimination. We believe that it's also going to improve our economy. Because just imagine if our country is labeled it's a malaria-free country. That will be a beautiful country to live in. So our strategy, we need the involvement of everyone, all our stakeholders in South Africa, whether be the teachers, principals, counselors, indunas, like everyone. So we are so excited, we are given this opportunity to be with you in this gathering. It's to strengthen the relationship between this organization as well as malaria control program. I have with me the pamphlets with few information lay ingata share na ngwina ntakombela vanhu lava fambaka na vona va ta mi nyika to. So if somebody is asking kuri Mr. Ngwenya, is it possible kuri ta va na zero malaria in our country? Let me boldly say kuri we believe kuri it is possible. Looking back from many, many years ago, like Takayikona, and where we are today, we can see the evidence kuri naina ita at the end hiva eka zero malaria, because malaria cases are not as much as it was many, many, many years ago. We can see a steady decline in terms of cases, and we also have an evidence, one of the African country that recently has eliminated malaria. Logo hingisela kuri bona their journey, how was it? We have learned kuri it took them 50 years to reach elimination. So now we will ultimately reach elimination. Our goal currently, we are in a global goal 30-30, which means in 5 years' time, we are hoping to have eliminated malaria in South Africa. So together, we are going to do it. We have a slogan that we have in the program, zero malaria starts with me. If we say it starts with me, we mean it starts with everybody who is a resident of South Africa, all our stakeholders. It starts with us. Your contribution, our contribution, every person's contribution, every member of the public's contribution will make us to reach zero malaria cases. Let me say this in closing. Lexi nga xi vona ku ri xi contributa ngopfu eka malaria deaths, ku faka vanhu hi vuvabyi bya malaria, I ku ri vanhu at the end va tikuma va endla leswi hi ngo late presentation to health facilities. Mi ta ti vona the signs and symptoms leti nga laga pamphlet. Kuna a thin line between early signs and symptoms and advanced signs and symptoms. The difference there is the time in between. Logo munhu a vona ti early signs and symptoms leti ti nga laga eka ma pamphlets lamaya ati ignora, within a short period of time I reach leswi hi ngo it advanced stage of signs and symptoms, and it leto ati ha ri kahle. Because remember, malaria we have like a year, it's an acute disease. The acute, it means it kills within a short period of time. So our treatment is 100% effective, but people still can die, and not dying, we didn't wipe away all the parasites. If a person go to health facility very late, already combating late symptoms, maybe unconscious, maybe in convulsions, maybe in jaundiced eyes, maybe in anemia, and things like that. What happens is they will wipe away all the parasites in the body, but the cause of death will be an organ failure. And the reason for the organ failure is because when the parasites keep on multiplying inside the bloodstream, it is eating up all the organs inside. So, the take-home message there, once we see a sign and symptom earlier, we encourage you to let them go to health facilities and be tested. Before they treat other things, let them rule out malaria first. So we are all together going to eliminate malaria. We are going to win the battle against malaria. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope I didn't consume much of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mpunya, for the presentation. Comrade, as I conclude our awareness as the desk, we are saying to all our comrades who died of malaria, cancer, TB, diabetes, and those who are affected, may their soul rest in peace. Again, to our comrades who do not know their status, please watch out and go for a test so that you get treatment early. To our comrades who knows their status. May you take treatment regularly and practice a healthy lifestyle always. Eat healthy, exercise, and drink more water. Comrades, we were supposed to be lighting the candle, but looking at the fact that we invited the health department to come in, so we never wanted to consume much of your time. By so doing, I will request you to join me while I'm singing the song. It is well with my soul, it is well, it is well with my soul, it is well with my soul, it is well, it is well with my soul. Amandla. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Comrade Gender, for that item. Let me call upon the Secretariat now to deal with item number 4. Yeah, although it was supposed to be on the other side, but we felt let's leave it there, and she dealt with it in that particular order. Comrade Secretary.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Chairperson of the session. The program is in Book 1 of your package. I will not read the whole program. You will see it there. But I will indicate a few changes that are there in the program. In item number 6, under responsibility, instead of Secretariat is Chairperson, addressed by the Chairperson. The responsibility is the Chairperson, not the Secretariat. On the messages of support by business, we have South African, 2 Mountain. We propose the addition of Westval, NHB, and Metropolitan. So the rest of the items are as indicated. So I would like to move for the adoption of the agenda with the changes that has been made.
Thank you very much, Secretariat. Can we get hands, Comrade? In this order, Comrade. When you raise your hand, you mention your name. I don't know, there is a roving mic. Okay. Comrade will be responsible for that roving mic. You indicate your name and surname and also the name of your site. And also if you want to talk or second. Now, Comrade has actually proposed the adoption of this program. Can I get hands, comrades? I see a hand there, comrade. No, comrade, there is a mic coming.
No, thanks, My name, Una J, site name Mhlawa. I move for the adoption with the changes that were made. Thanks.
Thank you. Any seconder before we come to? Any seconder again? Okay, comrade.
Yeah, Vuelan site second.
Comrade, I said your name, your surname, and the name of the site.
Okay, Mkuleko Mkabele. Vuelan, I second.
Okay. Comrades, those who are saying this cannot be our program, can I see your hands? Those who are opposed to the program? I don't see any hand, comrade. We therefore say the program is adopted. As I've said, item number 5, it will ever come in. It will not stop. It will be a moving item, comrade. I will therefore now call upon Comrade Secretary for introductions. Comrade Secretary.
Comrades, allow me to introduce our guests as follows. We're going to introduce them as they arrive. At the present moment, in our midst, I'm introducing to you Dumisani Ngobe, the manager of Metropolitan. You can greet them, comrade.
Okay. Viva SADTU, viva. Good morning to every one of you. And I'd just like to thank the invitation.
Thank you very much, Comrade Jabulani. Comrades, we are also blessed with our secretary from the region, our own region, Buhlabela region. So I'm introducing to you the comrade that you know, comrades, most of you, is our regional secretary, Comrade Philly Mashiho. Yeah, I can see he has a side steward voice. Thank you very much.
You have taken my program.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
Comrades, now, I want one of us, comrades, I have seen, when the slogan is taken, people are sitting down. Can we all stand up, comrade, and sing? This is our day, comrade. Can we take a slogan while we invite the chairperson of the branch to address us, comrades? A slogan, comrade. Comrade Bear, Igwe. Angasfik. Comrade, can we sing? Up and sing, comrade.
Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. Umuthi babeka khona, muthi babeka khona. Emzabalazweni, emzabalazweni, manzini beka khona, manzini beka khona. Emzabalazweni, emzabalazweni, muthi babeka khona, muthi babeka khona. Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. Alisibeka khona, alisibeka khona, alisibeka khona. GS beka khona, emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni. GS beka khona, Alice beka khona, manzini beka khona, muthi babeka khona. Emzabalazweni, 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 emzabalazweni.
Viva SADTU, viva! Viva SADTU, viva! Viva Azaph Nxumalo branch members, viva! Viva Azaph Nxumalo branch, viva! Amanda! Amanda! Fight SADTU, Azaph Nxumalo, fight! Fight Azaph Nxumalo, fight! Fight Azaph Nxumalo branch, fight! Amanda! 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 Away with the corrupt circuit manager, away! Away with the corrupt circuit manager, away! Away with the corrupt circuit manager, away! Away with the unduly, unprofessional appointment of a principal, away! Away with an unduly, unprecedented appointment of a principal, away! Away with corrupt people in Amkuto, away! Away with the corrupt Christ Kiziwe, away! Away with community members who are opposed to SADTU, away! Away with everyone who is opposed to SADTU, away! Manda! 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 Good morning, comrades. I want to thank this moment that I have been given by the branch to stand before you after some time. And I'm really appreciating the manner in which the branch was run. I have seen you when you were marching, and I even cry when I see older generation walking a long distance, and I said, this is an intent and testimony that they want their branch to grow. And indeed, what you did was a thing that will influence all the branches in our region to make sure that they rise against any corruption. Thank you very much. I am extending a warm welcoming to, I don't know whether the Provincial Executive Committee is here. Not yet. In absentia. And second, I am also looking at whether the region is here. Correct. Comrades, let me greet our chairperson here, Comrade Manzini, and say, Comrade Manzini, thank you very much. You led the union in difficult times, and therefore you need accolades because it was very difficult. Comrades, you may not know what is happening when we are engaged in these wars. There are calls that you will receive, even bullets these days, to say you said 1, 2, 3, and if you are not careful, you will go. Please withdraw from what you said. I think those that are leading understand what I'm talking about. Comrades, I am welcoming everyone here. The executive committee of our branch, all members of Mukutlo Azaph Nxumalo, and the guests that we are having today, the sponsors that are here today. I say you are welcome. I also want to greet give my welcoming to the Secretary of the Region, Comrade Philly, who is surrounded by members of the ROBs who will be here, and also those sister branches that will also be here. I thank you very much for having come here. Comrade, we are gathering here in this session as immediately after the 10th elective conference of SADTU National that took place from September 2025 to 2028 during 2024 at the Beach Wood Hotel and Conference Center in Bospek. We are also meeting here immediately after the National Congress of SADTU elective conference was wherein it was followed by SADTU provincial elective conference. As we are gathered here, comrades, today, most of the branches of SADTU in the region are also currently having similar BTGMs that will end up, I think, the end of May. Prior to these events, we had May 2029 elections, national elections in 2024. Those elections are now going to be followed by the local elections, wherein our presence is also needed. We also like to say, unlike the other years, the alliance has a challenge. The alliance has a challenge, the center is not holding, and we will only know who is going to lead us after September this year, wherein they will have a meeting to discuss who must do what, and that message will be cascaded to all the branches of our union. And that can only be a sign that we are now united in our effort to make sure that our people get the services. The past local government elections were characterized by dispute in other areas of the country, and allegations of manipulations of candidates of selection processes were identified. And we are hopeful that this time around, there will be no such incidences. As such, we are affected by local government elections because that is the level where service delivery takes place. We deal with learners who come from communities, and we are members of the communities wherein these services must be rendered. If we are not getting the services at local level, we are likely to get this ill treatment of having roads being destroyed, and maybe even learners unable to get to the schools. There is the majority of our areas which produce top results have decent facilities and are within conducive conditions. If you talk of those areas that are producing good results, they are usually from the cities and from the towns and all this. But with us, we are struggling because some of our learners are coming from the very impoverished communities. Local elections should be taken serious, as it serves as a motivation to education workers to service our communities with pride and dedication. Most of our schools in the neighboring surroundings did not produce top results during the 2024 matric results, as exams were marred by examination irregularities. Most of our learners were deeply affected by the delays regarding the issuing of results. After the results were issued, most of the universities were already closed, and parents were struggling to find spaces in the universities. And that was a difficulty we should avoid. There should be intensive invigilation such that these irregularities are not only discovered at the level of the marking session, because it disturbed both the learners and the teachers. Last year, most of the educators who were at marking, some of them were driven out to say, we have discovered that your learner in your school was copying, and therefore it means you are not fit to mark. And that was very terrible. You can imagine when you have got a big bag and you are to return home on the basis of the fact that a learner in your school was found copying. And this, indeed, it was wrong, because in any way, some of the comrades were complaining to say we are not invigilators ourselves. We were not even nearer to the invigilations room. SADTU must be exemplary and inspire, in particular, the new educators, which new educators must be workshopped wholly. Currently, we have got cases, comrade, many cases of educators who have just entered into the system. The other time, I was dealing with a case of a learner who is now at university. And this learner is now at a university for 2 years. But what she did was to identify a teacher who was having a relationship with her. Okay. And the relationship was that of 2 years ago. The learner requested the educator money. And the educator said, no, we have got no business. And the learner was angry. She reported the matter to the Department of Education. As I'm speaking now, the educator has been suspended. And the suspension is taking many days. But according to what we know, when you are suspended for a week, you are also given more 14 days if they still think they should investigate. But in this case, they told the educator that you must stay at home until the lapse of 90 days. How many days? 3 months outside the school. So that is why it is imperative to make sure that the new members are inducted into these things, because they may not have the knowledge from the university on what is happening. As members of SADTU, we must display professional conduct and ethical behavior at all times and in any space we are found. I am raising this issue because in the past, in some parts of the country, our members were accused of laziness and late coming. And now we are accused of having relationships with learners. Whether the allegations are true or false, we have the responsibilities to guide and coach future leaders as educators aligned to SADTU and COSATU's SACP and also the ANC. You see, the problem we are having is that even in Mukutlu, I don't know, we must have to report this. We are the only union that is existing. But when you go into the boardrooms, there is a union which is led by our own circuit manager here. Only one person, if we are not there, they take decisions. But when you count their number outside, they are not there. And only some of the principals are aligned to that union, because when you call them, sometimes they don't pitch up. And you will not understand why. Maybe they are ex-kissers of the circuit manager. We have a responsibility to prepare young people as future leaders and professionals of our country, the continent and the world as a whole. I am saying this because South Africa plays a vital role in the international arena nowadays. South Africa its involvement with the International Court of Justice last year, particularly its case against Israel, has significantly impacted its relation with countries including USA. You would remember that USA has suspended the the usage that was given to the country. And our health workers are now suffering. I am told more than 40 staff members of the health were actually laid down as a result of these programs that were stopped. Despite USA's reactions, the involvement of South Africa in the ICJ had led to the increased support from the global South and heightened pressure for ceasefire. Indeed, the other time I listened to the reports is that there is ceasefire at Gaza, and that resulted from South Africa's case. Western powers who opposed the case after the ruling in favor of South Africa are now trying all by means to punish South Africa for what it did. This decision by the USA is affecting about 40 health projects, has caused great concern among HIV activities and activists and health workers, as many of the programs were vital for HIV testing, data collection, and support for key populations. Comrades, while we are entitled as of rights to participate in meetings at community levels, we must not find ourselves in the forefront of divisions, promoting factionalism, tribalism, regionalism, or chauvinistic tendencies in communities. The above preceding tendencies are becoming apparent in our area of operation. Those who do not know, the other time immediately after we marched, there were communities members, and some of our members were engaged in recruiting parents to be against SADTU. And these, we are informed, were thwarted by our own members who are so progressive, and we want to thank them. Recently, SADTU, Azaph Nxumalo branch, witnessed this tendency after the lodging of a grievance against the second manager of Mkhutlo and the principal that was unprocedurally brought to one of the school side, referred to herein as Mapaleni Primary School. Comrades from Mapaleni, we want to accolade you, give you accolades. The manner in which you handled that situation, even today people are still praising you outside the department. Officials that are pro us in the department will but these educators are the ones that must shape the education fraternity in the in the district. Mapaleni and the other schools, of course, the grievances in other schools like Lamulelani, like the school called Nsushego, and also the other institution like Mavimbela. We have realized that educators were aimed at making sure that they don't accept punishment from anyone, including the second manager that we are now saying she must go away. Her says, had it that the biased investigator took only a few hours to investigate this serious case, and the case was closed. Comrade, you remember that before, we were told that the case will take only 1 day to investigate. And we were surprised because our memorandum is a comprehensive memorandum with very serious issues to address. But the investigator, as we know him from, what is this school? Mukumbini. We know him from other schools where his decisions were against SADTU. And this member was appointed to investigate an issue that we knew that he was going to side with the second manager. Comrades, what happened was that we made sure that we requested the intervention of the province to get somebody who is independent to get into the case. As we speak, the investigation are not still on. The investigator is claiming to be still doing what we call questionnaires, which questionnaires were done only for 1 day by the investigator in the region. Labor section of the district is conducting its investigations very sharply. At times, those who are close to their office are not investigated, and those who seem to be unknown to them are investigated. Immediately, they are reported. You will recall the issue of Nsushego. It started in 2021, and until now we haven't got a report because the investigations were made by the section, that is labor section in the district. And even before, the very same biased investigator, after he conducted the investigations, there was a roar at the region to say the investigator is saying there is no case. Can you imagine when ordinary people are told about the outcome of the case, but the union who reported the matter is yet to be informed? That is the biasness of the office there. We propose that labor section in Botshabelo district be overhauled. I want your support in this one, comrade. The office, the section of labor in the office of the district must be overhauled. The office of labor in the district must be overhauled. Thank you for supporting the move. A period where there is in our country, there is a problem characterized by high level of unemployment, high level of crime perpetuated against all our people, wherein drugs like nyaube, alcohol abuse, and in taverns and other related places are ravaging our youth in township, cities, villages, and everywhere they are accessing them. These shebins and spaza shops are becoming slaughterhouses where our youth are slaughtered mysteriously. Elsewhere, school-going children, including grade R children, are kidnapped on daily basis for allegedly multi-purposes. This, among other things, result from South Africa's becoming an S-kicker or an S-kisser. South Africa like to accommodate people they don't know and have no knowledge of these people activities before they know them. Indeed, if you can see the villages here, I don't know why money is becoming so important to us, such that we even cater people that we don't know in our own backyards. And those people, at the end of the day, they are the ones that are causing this mayhem of kidnapping our own children. We have been at loggerheads with the employer on matters which affect our members, locally and nationally. We wage non-violent campaigns for the purposes of elimination of maladministration, nepotism, favoritism, and patronage practices, especially in our branch. Our branch waged these campaigns for the improved relations, for it is our understanding that a better education delivery system need educators who are professionally, independently, and from patronage and factional tendencies. During the period under review, we have observed some of our members becoming the district spies than to spy in favor of our union. Have you realized that, comrades? We submitted the memorandum, and the following day, the memorandum was allocated to one person. And the person's name was mentioned. And when you check, it means it was a work within. And in any of the meetings with the Provincial Executive Committee, that person's name was mentioned. And you wonder why, because the person was not even present. But the name is mentioned. And it is even said the person was called in one of the meetings to make clarification on the memorandum. That is the work of a spy within ourselves. And this must stop, because we cannot go on like this. Next time we will expose such people in front of the many members that are here. These members made friends with the former leaders with intention of changing leadership of the union or disadvantaging other comrades within our ranks. In one of the crucial meetings involving 23 teachers of our members and officials, during the meeting, did pronounce that educators within this group who do not want to work with the manager must go and work in other schools. That was what happened in the meeting, comrade. The manager concerned who was running the meeting said, I'm making this statement. The educators in that school who are 23, and remember, we were left only with 6 educators who did not support us. I think I will move a motion that the way the other educators suffered, these educators must be expelled from SADTU because they are not members. In fact, they did this program to go on and on and on until today we don't have a report on the basis that they were siding with the employer. The employer said in that meeting, we want to move every educator out of the school who does not support the principal in the school. By that time, we had an engine of the branch. And then the engine of the branch immediately raised the hand and say, I support you. Whilst others were still wondering what was happening, the second in charge of the office of SADTU raised the hand and said, that is my word. Comrades, if I did not faint that day, I would not faint. I was saved by 2 comrades that I want to mention their name. And the other one is not here. I don't know why he's not here. Because I should have informed the comrade. Comrade Anna, who is in your office, Comrade Phil. She raised the hand and said, Manager, I thought you are a woman. But the manner in which you are treating these educators is not right. Comrade Anna, thank you very much. Then followed Comrade Alice. This is not right. We cannot do that. Manager. The 2 ladies raised. And after that, the 2 comrades who said they are supporting the matter, they went out of the office through request. And do you know what was happening? They were going out to the office to organize lunch for the employer. And the meeting was not for us. We were called by the employer. The employer was supposed to fund the activity. The 2 sellouts had to rescue a request for permission to leave the meeting. Guess what? Just to go out to buy lunch for the employer with the members' subscription money. We are here after SADTU waged protest against austerity measures and education, in the education, including a march to the National Treasury and Department of Basic Education. Further afield, SADTU supported the scrapping of the then proposed VAT increase. Additionally, SADTU has been involved in the initiatives like taking coding and robotics to our visual impaired and blind learners. Some of you are the beneficiaries of that skills development transfer. At least the employer's conduct has changed this time. The employer's conduct is now reasonable and in line with civilized spirit. That from the 1st April 2025, education workers received salary increment. Didn't you? We did, comrade, and I understand there is another one that is coming, I think the end of June. We will be getting another money again. SADTU members are politically conscious revolutionaries using power play to force stubborn employer to be reasonable in acceding to employees' demand, as was the case in the second within the branch. Indeed, you have seen what we did with the second manager of Mukutlo. Where is she today? Is she still working? Is she still working, comrades? As members of the Revolutionary Democratic Union, you need not regret for the interferences meted at us in both the communities and district. Such will never happen as the union is engaging with the regional leadership of the ANC in preparation for an engagement with the leadership of the two branches of ANC that interfered with our grievance procedures. I want to state this very categorically, comrades. During the week, we had a meeting with the members of the African National Congress. They were coming to apologize. And we said, as a branch executive committee, we are not going to take that apology because you were not involved in the activities. The people who were involved in the activities must make sure that they come and apologize to us and tell us why did they do this. We said this angrily, our comrades, because it was not for the first time. When we were engaged with the case of Nsusheko, they organized meetings and the parents to come and take the educators out of the school. And such that they sabotage all the negotiations that were going on that way. And the same individual is the same individual who was talking to me every now and then, whenever elections are coming, to say, Comrade Mudiba, let your branch allow me to come and present our plan. And we would come here, as many as we are, to support them. But at the long run, they hire buses and disturb the process, the grievance procedures that we have embarked on. They went to Mapaleni to deliver a principle that we take out. That is why we said to them, only after the BIP TGM, we will meet you so that you can explain yourself. Why did you do this? Further engagement will be made with the incoming BEC leadership after this conference, from which any outcome shall be tested with SSC meetings, upon which ratifications will be sought out from mass meetings. Comrades, if anyone tell you that we have agreed with ANC, and you know there has never been SSC, there has never been mass meetings to engage on these issues, you must know that that person is lying. The fruits most South Africans are currently enjoying have been nourished with the blood of the freedom fighters, most of whom are no longer alive today. Comrades must not be confused by those who think teachers should not be engaged in industrial action. Comrades, I want to thank you for the decisive actions that you took. I understand we are not submitting marks. And that in itself was to put a finger behind someone's hole. And I have seen many messages saying, Chairperson, can we meet? Because there is this issue. Although the issues are sensitive, comrades, ours is also sensitive. They say to us, You are not captured in any department. Therefore, you might lose the privilege of having money to buy for your learners. You might lose privilege of getting educators in your school. But who cares when we are not addressed well? The effort of SADTU members by engaging in the industrial action even benefited those who do not believe in pressurizing stubborn employers. Social media comments by both some of the leaders and non-entities made our members to be angry even every time there is an industrial action. In Mukutlo, we heard that a certain stubborn official who passionately hates SADTU did organize parents' meeting and also meet delegates and delegated SADTU members from Azaph to find out whether SADTU Azaph Nxumalo branch had taken an informed decision in respect with their grievance with the unprocedural recruitment of a principal at Mabalini High. You can imagine. They involved SADTU Azaph. And the question that was asked was, did SADTU Mukutlo acted well? I could still remember what was said in the video. The video was saying they did not act well. And there was a stooge among them, whom we know. He worked before in the district, and now he's working at the province. The stooge stood up and said, I have got information. I know that this post is needed by who? The leadership of SADTU in Mukutlo. Comrade, I'm proud with the leadership of Mukutlo branch. Since I knew Comrade Manzini, let me say it for the first time, because I thought if I tell him, he will brag. But I'm telling you now, this man has got a backbone. Since he became a deputy chairperson in 2008, he never applied any post. Do you know the reason? The reason is one, comrade. When you apply for a post as a leader, like, let's say these people, all these people are from sites. They have applied for a post. And you there, you are the officials. And Mudiba come. Immediately he come. What are you going to do? You greet him, isn't it? And you give an impression that Mudiba has got a post even before the interviews. And if Mudiba got that, what you call post, people are saying they have given him. So we are trying to avoid such incidences where our members are given bad impressions about ourselves. Comrade Manzini, thanks very much, my comrade. And these Marcoses, that are talking about our union, that is Azaph Nxumalo branch, and they don't know Azaph Nxumalo branch, had to take sides to blame SADTU leadership. In the very same meeting, this official, I have just explained that, it is called, this thing is called Christ. Peter Mabuza. This thing that is talking ill about us is called Christ. He is staying at Mukutlo or somewhere. But wherever he is on the neck of SADTU. At Nsosheko, we made an application that the SGB that was there should be removed. And he came in and reinstated them. And when he reinstated them, he said they want to put their own SGB that is going to eat money. How can anyone outside the school want a position that is not advertised? Comrade, ask yourself. The post at Mapaleni was never advertised. So who in the union wanted that post? I have told you several times that I don't have qualifications myself. I only have one course from Mamkhalake Cheni by that time, and I don't have any relevant experience that I can boast of. And therefore, I'm urging my friends here to say, please, save our union. Do not apply when you don't qualify. Because at the end of the day, we go to the SGBs and said, make a favor for me. And there is this question that I used to receive. I don't know, maybe let me say it now. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I will not be around. Comrade Mudiba, how are you, my leader? I'm fine. Yes, I am interested in this post. Comrades, what must I do? You come alone. You are not elected. You say you are interested in the post. My answer is one. Comrade, if you are interested, apply. Apply for this post, like other comrades. In the past, comrades, we were having a secretary that was well versed with the issues of interviews. That was Comrade Makubela, you still remember. We would call Comrade Makubela and arrange a hall to say, explain to the new people who never went to attend any interview, and explain the dimensions. We had a problem. After the interviews, people will go and flock to his own place. Comrade, whatever you told us never came out. It was now a fight. And then I said to Comrade Makubela, never go there, because otherwise you are putting ourselves into disrepute. And indeed, he ceased doing that. So whenever people do not know, approach those that are employed and seek information as to how you are going to attempt to such things. In every industrial action, during the past and the present, we have noticed elements who try to confuse parents to be at loggerheads with education workers. And this must stop. And it is true. Isn't it that we are now at loggerheads with parents? Are you aware that they submitted a memorandum at the province? And the memorandum was submitted in order for the department to do something against us. We were lucky, comrade. I would like to give thanks to the SSC because the decision they took was quick, as if somebody warned them that you are about to be charged. And when they were going to charge, they were going to charge the entire branch membership. But immediately they realized that we have gone back to the classes, they flopped. There was no such a thing. Now, they are hanging with this one of saying, please allow us to capture the marks. And we are saying, no. Tell us how far you are with our case. And it is therefore the time we will say, okay, we are allowing you. Much of the communications were not in the spirit of mutual respect in terms of employer and employee organization. The relocation of educators from one school to the other also was a problem during this period under review, you will find that a person is listed as R&R educator. Within 2 days, that person is placed. When you check in the old list, there are people from 2020, when is this now? 2023 that are not yet placed. Then you ask yourself, why is this one jumping the line? Because this one's qualification is the same with this one. Why are they placing this one? This is the bad relationship we are having with the employer. It is not benefiting some of our members, but is benefiting others. And these were done in every circuit. Every circuit. I remember at one stage when a member at Shimungwe phoned me and said they are refusing his relocation. The relocation was about to be, I think, at Ntlhanzeni. They were refusing to say, we are not going to allow you. If we allow you, who are we going to appoint you? Then I called the circuit manager to say, circuit manager, you are unfair. Allow this person to go where is nearer home, so that at least he can see his kids and be happy like others who are next to their homes. And then they release that person to go and report to the school concern. We must, however, applaud the health and wellness unit, which came with a brilliant recommendation in most cases. You see, comrades, at Mavimbela, the school was said to be closing by the department without no reason. And educators were insulted by the current circuit manager, who we say we don't want her. And when these educators were hearing how they were, scolded at, some of them cried. And they can cry also, because their husbands never did that to them, isn't it? But this is a woman who is doing that to them. Then we had to go there and call 8 social workers to make sure that they are assisted. And the department was out of that. They did not even bother to come. We did it as a union, Azaph Nxumalo branch. The same was at Nsusheko, where our educators were crying. And I don't want to report about this, but in any way, you must know that most of our educators in Nsusheko, most of them woke up at Ageso. It was terrible. So when you go to Ageso, where I was admitted at one stage, you see educators from Kutu. They are many. And you ask yourself, why are our educators many here? Some, when they tell the story, it is about the treatment they are getting into their schools. That should stop if there are principals here. Let's treat our members very well if you want to be a member of SADTU. It pains to observe that some of the cases alluded to are hijacked by some of our members or our enemies. They be warned that in all the material time, whenever we deal with cases, we adhere to our 4 principles relevant to labor law, namely essentialia negoti, stare decisis, lex loci contractus, and nemo jutex in causa propria. Those are the principles we are using. These principles address crucial aspects of employment contracts, judiciary proceedings, and the selection of governing laws, as well as the avoidance of self-interest in legal proceedings. I know why you are making noise. You haven't heard what these terms are all about. I will explain. Let me break down the principle for you. Essentiala nigoti. This principle means that relevant to employment contracts must be adhered to. It requires that a contract includes the fundamental terms necessary for its validity and enforceability. In South Africa, this would include provisions related to remuneration, holidays, illness, rights, notice, periods, and job descriptions. I'm not sure, comrades, but there is this other one that they did not mention because they may not be covering everything. Comrades, there is this issue of our comrades being abused. A principal retires. An HOD is appointed. And they say to that HOD, you cannot get remuneration because you are not appointed. But when the meetings are held in the circuit, they must travel. With whose money? That is what is happening. And immediately an appointed acting person comes in, the person is paid. And sometimes this take a lengthy time. You'll find that a person who is acting is taking almost a year without a payment. One of these things is what is happening at Lamulelane. At Lamulelane, the principal of that school acted from 2018 until today. Has never got a cent. And when he approached the district, they say, the principal that was supposed to be here was chased by the community. But they did not chase him out of the employment in this school. So the principal is suffering for that. He came to me several times. And the other time he came, he showed me something. Do you know what happened at Free State? A person who was treated this way reported the matter to the CCMA. And even before the case could start, that person was allocated 700,000. When they calculate how many days this person was acting, it was 700,000. And the case is still on to find out in actual fact how many or how much must he paid. This stare disease, this principle means to stand by things decided, establishing the doctrine of binding precedent. Courts are bound by their own previous decisions, and those of high courts, unless there is a clear error or a significant change in circumstances. This helps ensure consistency and predictability in the law. Comrade, I want to cite this one. And it comes from Mavimbela, which helps us also to mitigate on this case of Mapaleni. At Mavimbela, the acting principal went for interview, and she won the interviews. When appointment was to be made, it was the school's level was investigated, and they found that the school's level was reduced to PL3 when it was PL4. And therefore, there was a letter that says, we are not going to appoint you because you entered into the interviews of PL4. and your school is now what? PL3. We went to the province with the SGB there. I became SGB member of Mavimbela for a period of 5 days. And I was surprised I was never called in a meeting after that. And we were told that, look, this principal cannot be appointed. I think you are listening. Now, come a principal from Binari, whose school was at level or PL4 when he took over 2016. And on the way, 2016, it was demoted to PL3. And now, this principal wants to come back. When he comes back, he is promoted to PL level what? 4. Is it PL level 4 at Mabaleni? Yes, PL level 4. Then we said, you have set a precedent. This is what the principle says. You can't deviate from this precedent. If you deviate, then reinstate the appointment of Mem Maluman. And we will understand you. Do you know what we know? We know that she has retired. And how do they reinstate her? And therefore, the case is closed. Comrade, you have this number 4 which says Nemo Jutex in Causa Propria. This one refers to a situation that no one is a judge in his own case. I hear people talking here. Yeah, the circuit manager is saying, no, I am going to win this case. I was not appointed by SADTU. This principle speaks to us. You can't be a judge of your own case. And she was saying that because the biased investigator is closely related to her. And therefore she knew that it is going to be in her favor. This is something we would like to advise all our members to take care of and leave those who are involved with cases to deal with them freely. There is this tendency from our own members, comrades, wherein they like to interfere in the cases that other people are involved in. You may not understand how I strategize to win a case. And if you see where I planned, you can also report me. Because some of the things are controversial, but those are making me to win the cases. And therefore, if you stay aloof, I will be able to win our comrade a case. So we are urging our members, please close your mouth and wait for the results. I encourage all of you to continue fighting for our own future. And you must never be dispersuaded by reactionary elements within our midst and elsewhere. I further encourage you to participate in weekly and site tours elsewhere or even within our own area. Leadership development programs, you must attend them in order to impart comrades with skills to represent their members correctly. Comrade, I would like to conclude with this statement that the wage driver, I want you to listen, the wage driver has increased itself in our ranks. Indeed, they have increased themselves in our ranks. live by the principles of OD alteram petam principle. That says, whenever somebody comes to you and say Manzini is a thief, I will advise what you should do. Drag that person nearer to Manzini. And when you are with Manzini, you say, Comrade Mabuza, you said this with regard to Comrade Manzini. Can you repeat what you said? Rather than to take a decision and say Comrade Manzini is a what? Is a thief. And allow me, on behalf of the Site Stewards Council, to declare the conference officially opened. I thank you, comrade.
You are taking my program. Thank you, Chairperson, for a welcoming speech. Chairperson, safe to say, this particular meeting today, it's awaited by those who oppose us, locally, in the district, and also in the province. In short, they want to know the outcome of this particular meeting. So for us, Chairperson, I think it's important that we remain united in this meeting. Because the investigation is not by design that they have delayed. They are waiting for the outcome of this meeting. So it's very, very important that we actually alert the comrades. Comrade Dibaka, can you quickly do the introductions, and we'll quickly... Oh, okay.
Amanda. Comrades, you will remember that we had a stand, that we spent almost 60,000 to fence it and also to make it to be graded. But I think somewhere 2021 it was taken from us by our neighbor who claimed that it was part of his stand. We went to Tula Mahashi and they said to us, you can't have us helping you because you don't have the documents. And in any way, it was true. Because, comrades, I will urge, if today you are elected, you get into that office, do not take the treasure of the office with you when you go out. When we found that all the documents that we had with the stand were not there, we were flopping and we could not do anything. But we went on to go on and to negotiate with the tribal authority. I am here to report to yourself that this is the letter that gives us permission to occupy the stand now, so the union can do anything they want to do. Apart from these, comrades, we will make this legal expectation that we must have to make to approach the person who destroyed our fence to make sure that he fenced the stand that we have just received now. Thank you very much.
All right, Amanda. All right, thank you, the chairperson of this session. Let me introduce our new guests. The first one is a guest from our sister branch. That's Shabangu Melody, the treasurer of Maridi branch. All right, she's not alone. She's with the gender convener, Nyakani Limpi. All right, the next guest is Mkolisi Mayor from NHB. All right, the next one is what the SSC dictated. The message of support from the Alliance is Temba SV from Kosato. All right, our next is Toko Mabuza from MFS. I have to, but I was not supposed to introduce this one. The next one is the former mayor. From now is the chairperson of the South African Communist Party, Comrade Azaph Nxumalo. All right, after I have finished, I'll be going to at the back where there is our admin. So the following sites should go there: Bonzweni, Banikosa, Chayaza, Kanningmore, Dumisani, Hlomani, Homzea, James Kosa, Gurula, Madlala, Makhosana, Mandondo, Mapaleni, Mavimbela, Mhlahle, ML Nkuna, Njanji, and Susheko, Tulani, and Wielan. Only either a side steward or a secretary, only one. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Dibaka, for introductions. We are now moving, Comrade, to item number 7, message of support. Comrade Secretary, that list. Okay. I will therefore, comrades, give them about 3 minutes for a message of support. We'll start with, not in a particular order, comrade, with Metropolitan, MFS, NHB, in that order, comrade. Metropolitan.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva SADTU, viva. Viva SADTU, viva. Ngathi anikho kahle ma comrade. Viva SADTU, viva. Yebo. Yeah, I know I was introduced earlier on. To those of you who just came in now, my name is Dumisani Ngobe, branch manager for Metropolitan in Bushbuck Ridge.
Comrades, can we get your attention, please? It's not nice when someone is speaking and you are making noise. Please, comrade.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the invitation from SADTU as Metropolitan, we are pleased to be here. Comrades, I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I'd also like to thank all the SADTU members for the support that you are giving us when we're visiting you in your schools. So without you, Metropolitan is not existing. So we thank you for the support. Please keep on supporting us when we visit your schools. Give us the attention that you've given us. And comrades, there are a bit of changes in Metropolitan. Those happened late last month. I'm sure many of you have received messages that there will be changes in your policies. So those changes were only in your policy numbers, but your policies are still as they were. They only changed the policy numbers. So gungantu silogo. And also now at Metropolitan, you can be able to submit a claim via WhatsApp at the comfort of your place without having to visit our branches. So for more information, we have our gazebo out there with our qualified advisors. You can visit us there, so don't prefer more. Thank you. Viva, comrades, viva.
Amandla. Viva SADTU, viva. Thank you, Chairperson Babmodiba, for this opportunity. I would like to acknowledge and greet all leaders, all protocol observed. Colleague Singmage Mazibugo, a retiree working for MFS Retirement Advisory Services. Colleagues, we are there in the space of advising when coming to exits in the department. When you want to exit, colleagues, there's not much information that is exposed to you. So we are in that gray area. We are there to cover up for you, to empower you with information. Because we've taken note of that as we are working, we tend to close our eyes when coming to our monies, our pension monies that are at GPF. So we are in the space of advising you to say, when you want to exit, it is not a one size fits all that you just follow blindly so. Open your eyes, look at your money, how much you have, then take a decision, whether you want to exit or not. So we are outside with a gazebo where we would like to give you free advice on what options do you have when you want to exit. We are also available to come to your different schools and do a presentation on all the options that lies ahead for you when you want to exit the system. Colleagues, it is time that we wake up. We take control of our millions at GPF. Don't close your eyes. It is your money. Thank you.
Amandla, comrades. Amandla. Stand ukuthi Happy Mother's Day kubomama. Imbokodo zethu ezisiphethe noma indlulile kodwa unyanga ayikaphela ngithi comrades. So NHP sithi kubomama Happy Mother's Day. Comrades sivela from NHP relationship na over 15 years manje ne SADTU. When you're talking about your relationship, comrades, ikhuluma nge-service. As long as mina nawe sisaphila, the relationship will always be there. Kunama comrades amaningi anama policies la ngaphandle, yet they don't know what they covered for. Comrades, when you take a policy, you must make sure you look at your policy schedule. You don't visit your policy schedule. As I'm talking right now, within the last month, I have had 6 encounters with comrades, but they did not claim anything. Abanye 2 years back, abanye 3 years back, comrades don't even know who is in their policies. Then what's the purpose of taking a policy, comrade? don't know who to fagabani on that policy. I don't know if comrades have money to waste, but as far as I believe, there's no money to waste in life. Yonke imali must be worked for, comrade. So I urge you guys, you see NHB, there's nothing that we want to do as the NHB, ukuthi sibhadale ama comrades, so that they can have a good way to ukuthi SADTU is taking care of us, because there's no point for SADTU to bring us on board. When we come to comrades, they take policies and then they don't come back to check their policies. It's your money, lehleli lapha yana comrade. Imali ayina le thamela yakho. Fanele mita claim imali ya. And now we're calling comrades out there to come and check your policies. When you take your policies, also know who's covered in your policy. There's a policy schedule that we send you. And I urge you right now, loko urna policy tana checkela so we can send you a policy schedule, comrades. I will not sell on this platform. We're just introducing ourselves and also urging you to come and check your policies. Thank you very much, comrade.
Thank you very much, comrade. Comrade, I'm concerned as a teacher. I was told by the classroom management, one other thing, your learners must not make noise, comrade. So, please, comrade. We are going, South African is not here. Immediately when they come, we'll actually give them a space to actually address us. We are now going to the alliance structures. Safe to say, comrade, we'll only have 2 alliance structures. I think you were briefed. I think that decision was taken by our leaders, all of them together. I'm not going to explain, but you were briefed in the report. So I will therefore call upon now SADTU to give a message of support. Let me give them just 5 minutes, comrades. SADTU. I don't know whether we can welcome them with a slogan, comrade. A slogan, comrade. Those are our alliance. It's ourselves, comrade. Can we sing, comrade, all of us, please?
Amandla, Amandla, viva SADTU, viva, Viva COSATU, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Viva Sanko Yabahlali, viva! Amandla! Nawethu! Thank you very much, Chair of the session, for giving us this opportunity on behalf of COSATU to come and give a message of support. Comrade, we are pleased to be part of this meeting today, and comrade, to pledge also our support to this branch triennial general meeting. Comrade, this meeting sits during the time as COSATU we hosted several events that include a very successful provincial congress, which we came out there, comrade, stronger as before. We come from hosting the Day of Action, which was hosted on the 16th of April. And we want to applaud SADTU for the mobilization they've made in making sure that this event, it was a success. Our May Day workers celebration also, comrade, because of your involvement, it has become a success. Comrade, this meeting also sits at a time whereby we are faced with a lot of challenges in terms of the socio-economic. And as COSATU, we can't fold our arms when things are not going the right way. We have experienced that in most of our working environment, it is not conducive. Migwaqo lesihamba kuyo ifile. Indawo esebenzela kuzo, ama-class esebenzela kuwo akasi conducive for us to execute our duties of teaching and learning. And as COSATU, we cannot fold our arms on that. We will support SADTU in any action in making sure that the issue of austerity measures, it come to an end. Because it can be, comrade, that at the end of the year, i-budget ibiyele emuva ka-treasurer bangayisebenzisanga, whereas la sebenza khona it is not conducive. We don't have classes. We don't have even offices that we are working. We don't have even toilets as teachers where we are working. So the issue of austerity measures, it must come to an end. And we will fight side by side with you that at the end of the day, there should be an economic emancipation amongst our members. The issue of teachers, learner ratio, we will fight on your side, comrade, that it is accomplished. Comrade, we want to applaud this branch for the work that you have done. It is true that we are in alliance with ANC through COSATU. But we must put it clear that, comrade, as workers, we are governed by Labor Relation Act. So anything that deals with labor, it must be treated as such. We condemn, comrade, with every word that we can put what our alliance partner in this branch have done, the African National Congress. We cannot fold our arms and say what they've done is right. We must, at some time, have a lecture to teach our leaders in a branch level to say the separation of power. that there are issues that should be attended. Theirs, when they have issues, they must go to legislature. So they must leave us alone and we deal with issues of workers because we are governed by Labor Relations Act. You took a stance, comrade. We must commend you for what you have done, that it can be that they will come and want to impose whatever they want to impose on you. And as SADTU, we support this, and we're still going to support this until they desist of any shenanigans that is taking place in this area, comrade. As long as SADTU lives, we shall stand side by side with you, fighting against any external forces that want to destroy this alliance. This alliance is alive, comrade, but there are few individuals who want to push their own agenda in accomplishing what it is not good for us and good for our community. Remember, as teachers, as public servants, we are community workers, community members ourselves. So we can't be bulldozed, comrade. No amount of intimidation or fear that will make us to deter us to retreat or to go back on the stance that we are taking. We are saying today, African National Congress in this area, please go to your offices and deal with the road infrastructure. Deal with the building. Hands off our branches. Hands off Azaph Nxumalo branch. Let them do their work as they are envisaged to do. Now, comrade, there's no confusion there. We are clear about what is happening. Because as SADTU, if we are not going to do this, we don't know what is going to happen to the next affiliates. Currently, comrade, as I'm closing, we want to say, as you meet today here, comrade, it might happen there are external forces who will want to change the direction of this meeting, comrade. We urge all members and delegates in this meeting that remain disciplined, comrade. There is no amount of brown envelope that will buy a vote. Because, comrade, if we do this, we'll be selling this branch to the highest bidder. And history will judge us otherwise tomorrow. That when we leave the system, our children will say, what kind of organization that we have left behind to them, comrade. So we are saying, come out of this meeting united as ever before. If there are any differences, this is the right parliament. This is the right platform. Resolve the issues here. There is no external force who will come and resolve your issues. Resolve your issues here. Take decisive decision here. If you elect leadership that will lead you to the right direction. Not leaders who want to fill their pockets. Not leaders who are hot-spotted by other people. Not leaders who want to lead because they are working, they are a proxy of somebody sitting somewhere. You are independent. And we request that everyone should respect that independence and you work freely and make sure that you lead, comrades. With these few words, comrade, we wish you a very successful branch meeting, and we hope by the end of the day, all of us will come out here victoriously. All of us will come out here united as ever before. Amandla.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Chair, Program Director of the meeting. Maybe I should register a disclaimer, Chair, that already I'm aware that I'm allocated 5 minutes.
Now, I'll be very conscious in ensuring that I don't move beyond that 5 minutes. I was once embarrassed in a political rally where I was given 3 minutes to present a message of support. As I was greeting the audience or the masses, because we were in a political rally in a sports ground, the chairperson of the meeting stood up before I could even present a message. Now, learning from that embarrassment, I think I don't want a repeat of that. But it is very key, Chair, to raise this matter that once we are invited, we honor the invitation, we are supposed to be listened. Because as the South African Communist Party, remember now, we have been blamed that the whole demise of the National Democratic Revolution come as a result of us having been lowered our vanguard position. Now, if ever leaders of the alliance are intolerant listening to political statements, particularly in a political rally. So in that political rally, I was embarrassed because for just 3 minutes I was greeting the people. Now he stood up and I have to leave the podium before I could even utter a word. Now, the one study which has been actually issued about why liberation movement are losing power in the continent, in the Latin America and other parts of the world, they are saying that as soon as liberation movement ascend the position of power, they lose their identity. Yabona uma sewufika emhlanganweni njengalo kuhlangana nabasebenzi ungasashawuthi nama revolutionary slogans, ungasabizi nabo amandla, because once you say amandla, once you shout revolutionary slogans, you are wasting time. And that's why all liberation movement as we speak now throughout the world are struggling because they've lost their identity. So learning from that experience, comrades, let me shout amandla, matla, matimba, all power, viva SADTU, viva, viva SADTU, viva, halala SADTU, halala, halala KhoSADTU, halala, qina msebenzi uzonqoba, qina, qina msebenzi uzonqoba, qina, viva the South African Communist Party, viva, halala Sanko, halala. I take note that seemingly the relation between your good self and the African National Congress is not in good state. So, however, but it still suffices that we need to shout the African National Congress, not the individuals. Amandla! Viva ANC, viva! Yeah, chairperson of the meeting, thank you very much. Let me greet your good self and the branch executive committee leadership, the sister branches who came in here to support this branch triennial meeting, the regional office bearers who are part of us, the sponsors who came in actually and support this program, all our site stewards from various sites or our schools, membership of the branch, particularly delegates who were sent by their schools or sites to come and represent them in this meeting. And all other guests, the alliance partners, SADTU, SANCO, and the African National Congress, and all other people who have got interest in this meeting. Chairperson, as the South African Communist Party, we are here basically to pledge our support to this meeting and present our solidarity to the workers of this country, particularly this area or this site. Chairperson, it's very important that the workers must, from time to time, come together in this fashion. You are coming together here, it strengthens the working class struggles. Because without the unity of the workers, there will be no revolution in this country. So the working class hegemony, the working class struggles should be strengthened by the coming together of the workers. Now, this actual meeting is allowing you an opportunity, comrades, to spend quality time throughout the day analyzing your state of the organization as you are going to receive the reports. You analyze your state of the organization, you analyze the implementation of the resolution taken in the previous meeting on areas and drum your successes, and on areas where you have failed to implement those resolutions, then this meeting must come with a way forward to say what is it that must be done. I'm aware that during this period in time, as a branch, as a union, as the workers, you encountered a number of difficult challenges as you have emerged. Amongst them is the condition of service in your schools, where you find yourself working under crowded classrooms, you find yourself being attacked by hooligans in your schools, criminals element coming to your schools, and the vulnerability of the educators in most of our schools. But of worse is when the employer or government renegade from the agreements in the bargaining council. And those are some of those challenges which actually have encountered at this period in time. So this meeting actually therefore allows you that opportunity to make that thorough analysis of the conditions, of the condition of service, the condition in your workstations, and the whole welfare of the workers and the teachers in the Department of Education. So it allows you that just to engage on that area of work. The other critical point is that it should not just be a meeting that ends there. Our position as a party is that any gathering of the workers should be turned into a political school. You are going to receive different presentations from different speakers, and therefore that should sharpen your tools of analysis. You analyze the current political conjuncture at this political epoch in the country, in the continent, and the globe. So umsebenzi ke enibhekane nawo basebenzi is very huge. Now this meeting also is taking place at the month where, as a country, we are celebrating the workers, which is the Workers' Month. We had the national rally in the very same province. Now it's very important therefore that coming together, you need to pursue and intensify the hegemony of the working class struggle in society. Because manje njengoba sikhuluma, the ideas of the left, the ideas of the workers are losing popularity in society. Manje ke bonke abantu monopoly capital has intensified. Bonke abantu ke manje they think of being bourgeoisies in society because the ideas of the workers actually has gone down. So it's very important therefore that coming together, you analyze and position yourself as the workers of South Africa and the workers of this branch. So it's a very, very serious meeting which you are coming together. But above the analysis of those conjunctures is to come with a program of action to say, how do we confront our challenges? I'm raising these matters because our class name, which is monopoly capital, they are putting more resources, they are spending sleepless nights in ensuring that actually they dislodge the workers. In one of the meetings at the level of the region, I raised this matter with SADTU, that monopoly is SADTU and how. I raised this matter to say monopoly capital has actually managed to deal with us and dislodge all the industrial unions. If you look at the status of NUM now, you look at the status of NUMSA and other industrial unions, automatically they have demised. Now they are working extra hours, putting resources, putting intelligence, deploying agents, as the chairperson was indicating that there are those who are moving around with the bags of money in this conference. So they've deployed agents, they've deployed spies, they are infiltrating the public sector unions. SADTU, because you are the biggest union, NEHAU, because you are the biggest unions, you are the target of the monopoly capital. They'll work extra hours to make sure that they destabilize anything which the working class is planning as we stand. Because remember, monopoly capital, they are for neoliberal policies. And Tina, we are not for the neoliberal policies. Tina, we are for a socialist state, we are for a communist state, which is going to lead to an egalitarian state in this country. Now, the neoliberal actually has infiltrated our systems, they've infiltrated government. That's why currently we are experiencing all difficult challenges of neoliberal policies and austerity measures. From time to time, together with SADTU, marshalling the affiliates, we have been marching actually about, because austerity measures in some simple is that government must cut on social spending. And the only area which actually they're cutting is in education, they're cutting in health, anything which has got to do with the masses of our people. Hence, we are encouraging you to fight non-stop as SADTU was indicating. Join SADTU, fight these austerity measures, fight these neoliberal policies. Those are some of the issues I felt that, Chair, I should share with you. Because over the last almost 30 years, we have seen a policy shift from what we know. When we took over this government in 1994, we came with the RDP. But around 1996, there was a policy shift wherein now the government adopted GIA as a policy, which actually was a completely detour from the agenda of the National Democratic Revolution. And from 1996 coming this was, we have seen more retrenchment of the workers, we have seen the condition of living in South Africa just deteriorating. The welfare of our people, the well-being of our people, everything which has got to do with the life of the people has just changed in South Africa. Those who started to work with us, you'll remember that in 200 rand, we will say trolley. But manje, in 2,000 rand, upuma trolley empty. You'll remember that when we started to work, some of us who started in the late 80s and the early 90s, 500 rand, we shy full tank. Manje full tank, 5,000 and above. So you could see the condition of the living of our people that has just deteriorated. And it's only the workers who can salvage this country. It's only the workers who can unite and fight these draconian policies. Yeah, I think, Chair, I should not take a long time. You have already far exceeded my 5 minutes. But it is very important, therefore, to pronounce that we are from the Special National Congress of the South African Communist Party in November, wherein we made a thorough analysis. Actually, the debate started in 2007 when we were in Port Elizabeth. We analyzed the state of the National Democratic Revolution in South Africa. And we came to the conclusion that the National Democratic Revolution is already on a downward spiral. Yabona bake bahamba baya ngapha kumashishini kunamanye ama-cliff when you drive imoto uma seyiphunyukile ishona enzansi lapha in the cliff. Now the NDR has just capsized under the leadership of the African National Congress. It's on a downward spiral. We started to caution them in 2007 and they were told that we were ultra-left ourselves in SADTU. And then we went back in 2012 in Ngoye. We further analyzed to say the situation is getting worse in the NDR. The comrades ignore us. But finally, when we went to Beachwood in 2017, we resolved that the Communist Party maybe, together with SADTU, although SADTU, you are a trade union, but we know that you are also for socialism. We resolved that it's better to save the National Democratic Revolution, to have a working class voice in the government of this country. The Communist Party must contest state and popular power. But we agreed in 2017 that you can't throw a vanguard in a battlefield without the workers. And then we delayed the implementation of the decisions. But what happened when they went to that Nazareth conference? They removed all working class leaders. When you look at the NEC now, when you look at the PEC now, when you look at the RECs and branches of the ANC, you will find that all working class leaders have just been liquidated. Working class leaders from SADTU, working class leaders from the party, working class leaders from SANCO. So they've just liquidated everything. So that they must continue with those neoliberal policies they are doing there. You could see that treasure is the main hallmark of the center of the neoliberal policies. Now, we analyze the situation and resolve that, no. Let's maybe continue and contest elections under the banner of the African National Congress until this disaster struck in the last general elections. And you could see all of us that currently we are under government of national unity. We don't know what here pambili, noma iye muva. And you could see just the whole issue of the budget was just one of those, besides the resistance on the national health insurance, on the whole issue of the bill, all those issues, and the whole issue of the exploration of land is some of the example of the weaknesses and the deficiencies of the government of national unity. So we went to the Special National Congress in December to review, and then therefore in that Congress, Special Congress, we resolved that the Communist Party must contest local government elections in 2026. However, we emphasize that COSATU, please don't kill yourself. Go to your own Congress and analyze the situation. But Tina, as a party, we have already taken a position because the workers, the working class, and the poor people are already staying away from the polls. And by staying away from the polls is the message that NDR already has taken a different direction. And manje Tina ne COSATU is either le moto mayiwa sizowanayo le phakathi. And if it crash with all of us in it, it's either spumeng rafik le pants. Because others, they are blaming us to say, how can you leave the ANC under the conditions it is under now? But all of us will agree that the arrogance amongst the leaders is the one which have created all these things. Because we caution them about this thing of factional battles. We caution them about this thing of gatekeeping. We caution them about this thing of money politics. And unfortunately, they were not ready to listen. Even now, after that embarrassing performance, they are busy with that issue. Now they are going to conferences. There is still us and them. Those who are members, you'll know that when there are these BGMs, there are a lot of things which are happening. So we are presenting this message to say, we are briefing you as SADTU. We are aware that you are still going to your own Congress as COSATU to finalize on this matter. But Tina is a party, we have taken a position. We are not contesting the ANC, we are contesting elections. If all those right-wing parties, your Freedom Front, your DA, and all those small parties are contesting elections, what stops us, the working class force, to contest those elections? We are contesting the elections, we are not contesting organizations. So our position of contesting these elections, we want to save the National Democratic Revolution. We want to put a voice of the workers. We want to come with a government system which is going to take us to socialism. I think those are some of the issues, Chair, which I should share with you in this meeting. Well, maybe the office bearers will engage on the international balance of forces, the images of Donald Trump, and what we have just observed where the Afrikaners have left the country in large numbers to seek a political asylum and refuge in the United States of America. Those are the matters which we will be discussing as we engage in the Congress, because I don't want to be chased by the chairperson. Amanda! Thank you very much, Chairman. We wish you all of the best, comrades.
Thank you very much, COSATU and the SACP. We are moving, comrade. Now I'll call upon, we're going to item number 9. But let me call upon the secretary of our region, SADTU, to make some introductions. Comrade Phil.
Mandla, Mandla, Viva SADTU, Viva, Viva SADTU, Viva, Viva the ANC, Viva, Viva COSATU, Viva, Viva SADTU, Viva.
Sorry, comrade, there is that question Yama registers. Can you submit the signed one so that credentials and everything should be done immediately? Just the signed one quietly, comrade. We need the signed one just to the door there. So sorry, comrade.
Thank you, Comrade Ben. Comrades, Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the region to introduce the ROBs that are here. Comrade Ben, assist.
Comrade, I said quietly. Comrade, can we let us leave the program to run, comrade. Submitting. Oh, comrades, I'm told most of the people have not signed. Can we just sit down? If it's not signed, comrade, we'll actually deal with it immediately. Comrade, can we be quiet, please? Comrade, can we be quiet, please?
No, thanks, Comrade Ben. Comrade, let me introduce the regional leadership to yourselves. We want to acknowledge the presence of the regional office bearers of SADTU who are here. I'll start with the regional treasurer, Comrade Busi Chilwane. Comrade Busi, can you greet the comrades? We also have in our midst the regional deputy secretary, Comrade Lawrence Maluleke, DRS. We also have the deputy chairperson of the region who is also here with us, Comrade Brian Ngobeni. Comrade Brian. Comrades, allow me, in the absence of the branch chairperson, Comrade Ben, to move to the item that I was also going to present, which was to present the keynote address to yourselves. So I want to introduce the leader that is going to present to yourself a keynote address on behalf of SADTU. This leader comes through the ranks of this organization, SADTU, started as a site steward at Shimoi Khoza, then was elected in 2009, was elected the education convener of the then Tula Mahashi branch, which is currently known as Williamnis branch. Then in 2011 was elevated to the position of a deputy chair of Williamnis branch. Then also was elected as the deputy chairperson of SADTU, Butlabela region. Currently is the chairperson of COSATU, Bushbuckridge local. And I'm presenting to yourselves the regional chairperson, the political head of this region, Comrade Matume Mangena. Comrade Matume. And I'm also advised that Comrade Matume is not going to address you unless you pitch up a very powerful slogan, comrades. Please, to welcome your leader.
Mandla. 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 Long live Azaph Nxumalo branch of SADTU, long live. Long live Azaph Nxumalo branch of SADTU, long live. Long live Azaph Nxumalo branch of SADTU, long live. Mandla. 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 Thinta abafazi. Thinta abafazi. Thinta amadoda. Emzabalazwe, Zavala. Emzabalazwe, Emzabalazwe, Emzabalazwe. Babe kupila babantu. Emzabalazwe. Basishiya laba bantu. Emzabalazwe. Basishiya laba bantu. Emzabalazwe. 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 Wasesheya umadisha. Emzabalazwe. Wasesheya umalima. Emzabalazwe. 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 Babekupila babantu. Emzabalazwe. Babekupila babantu. Emzabalazwe. Babekupila babantu. Emzabalazwe.
Emzabalazwe.
Emzabalazwe. Emzabalazwe. Emzabalazwe. Emzabalazwe. Wasesheya umadisha. Emzabalazwe. Wasishiya ushilowa. Emzabalazwe. Washishiya uzuma. Emzabalazwe. 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 Mandla. 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 Long live SADTU, long live. Long live the South African Communist Party, long live. Long live SADTU, long live. Mandla. 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 Away too. Thanks very much. Yeah, comrades, on behalf of the Regional Executive Committee of Shavela, we feel honored to be given this space to speak to you, the owners of this organization. Comrades, before we do that, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of the South African Communist Party, to acknowledge the presence of SADTU, to acknowledge the presence of the regional office bearers of this organization, to acknowledge the presence of the branch office bearers who made this event possible. We want to thank you for having done exactly that. We shouldn't be gathered here today if it were not because of the branch executive committee of Azaph Nxumalo. we also take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of your good selves, the owners of this giant organization. Comrade Chairperson, let me indicate that I won't dwell much into the politics of this country. I'm taken in confidence that the South African Communist Party said a mouthful in terms of the political landscape of our country and what is expected of us as workers, and not merely workers but revolutionary workers in this country. So I won't dwell much into that particular space. Comrade Chairperson, let me indicate that today we have gathered here as members of this giant organization to come and reflect on how far have we gone since the last BTGM. Today, it is an opportunity for us to come and make an honest assessment of this organization at this particular level. And let us make no mistake and do exactly that. Assess this organization at this particular level so that moving out of this conference, we must have a program which will be able to guide us in this particular term moving forward until the next conference. So should we fail to come out of this meeting with a program, it means we will be letting this particular organization down. So we have got a responsibility as this meeting, which is the highest decision-making structure at this particular level, to take decisions which will inform the day-to-day running of this organization until the next conference. My leaders were gathered here today in this elective meeting, and one important factor that we need to note is that elective meeting, as this meeting is, it is not about elections, but elections are part of this meeting. The main purpose of this meeting, like I said, is to craft a program which will be able to take this organization forward. And elections come thereafter. Because you begin by crafting a program, and then after crafting a program, then you look for leaders who will be equal to the task. You don't just elect leaders without a program and expect them to work. What are you expecting them to do when there is no program at hand? When we say we are giving leaders a mandate, we mean that we are giving them a task at hand, that, comrades, we are electing you, we are giving you a responsibility, this is what you must go and do. And no one must give them that responsibility except yourself, the owners of this organization. As leaders, they are there as servants and you must send them to go and do something. And that something must be in a form of a program, which must be crafted in this particular meeting. That is the only way we will be able to build and sustain this giant organization. Comrades, seated as we are here, I must indicate that most of our comrades are aging. Most of our comrades are about to leave the system. And having said that, it is our responsibility to make sure that we leave this organization intact and united more than ever before, so that the younger generation must not mislead this particular organization. It is our duty, Matkaban. It is our duty to guide the young cadres of this particular organization. Not the other way around. But it is us, the old horses, to show the young ones that this is the way to go. In some conferences, I've been asking comrades and meetings of SADTU to say, as leaders of this organization, be it at the level of the branch, but particularly at the level of the site, where it matters most, because the most important organ of our organization is the site. Because that is where members are located. You cannot talk in terms of this organization without mentioning the site, which is the basic unit of this organization. And it tells you that if sites are weak, this organization is weak. You can't talk in terms of the strength of this organization talking about the branch, talking about the region or the province or national office. You can't. If you want to strengthen this particular organization, begin to strengthen its basic units, which are the sites. That is when you will be talking in terms of the strength of this particular organization. Now, we have got a guiding document of this particular which is the Constitution of SADTU. And that is not only the only guiding document. We also have resolutions which we craft in our various conferences and congresses. Those are our guiding principles. Policies, the culture and tradition of this particular organization. Those are the aspects that must be able to take us into confidence as we lead this particular organization. Now, I was asking comrades to say, my leaders, I was addressing one site steward at a particular branch, Then I said to them, comrades, now that we are moving towards mid-year, how many meetings did you have at your site? Site meetings. I got different answers, of course. One comrade was honest to say, I start my Ivana meeting. You see, he was very honest. One said, you see, loku, kutsika kuba nati staff meeting, loku ilava kundlurisa leswiya swa SADTU. Yong byela principal kuri loku hetile ku vulavula leswa swa staff meeting, ho hi nyika nyana 5 minutes hi ndlurisa leswiya swa SADTU. Now, comrades, I want to tell you here and now, without fear of any contradiction, that SADTU is a legitimate organization. SADTU is an independent organization. Swa SADTU asuhundzisiwi. You call a meeting specifically to deal with SADTU issues. You must have a program. Because the Constitution says to you that as a site, you must have at least one site meeting per month. It's not me, it's the Constitution of SADTU. It's not me. It's the Constitution of SADTU which says, as a site, you must at least, you see, not one meeting, but at least, which means you may have as many meetings as possible. That is the constitution of this organization. And if you want to build a strong site, you must do exactly what the Constitution requires you to do. Are we doing exactly that? You will find in very few sites that happens. And if you don't do what the Constitution requires you to do, the employer celebrates. The employer is celebrating. So let us go back to the basics. Going back to the basics, it means, comrades, we go back and introspect this particular organization. Check what was the strength of this organization when it was established in 1990. What was the strength of this particular organization? Let us go back and recollect all those things which made this organization strong, and then move forward. That is what going back to the basics means. That is why I said I don't want to talk about national politics and all those things, but I want to directly talk about things which touch our organization. Ourselves. Today, there is an open vacancy list. Posts, Makaban. The posts. They are there. You arrive at a particular site where there is a post, the deputy principalship post. You call a site steward, you ask him or her, what is your interest in this particular site, about that particular position? Then the comrade will say, I'm the interest. Are you still serving? Are you still serving the people who elected you? Because even if the interest is you, but it is not you who must stand and declare yourself. There must be other people who must stand and declare that our interest is this comrade. Now today people are volunteering. And I'm tempted to look back and check that during my time when I joined the struggle, when you are supposed to be elected chairperson of a structure, people were declining, literally declining. No. Aningeskoti kuba chairperson, because he or she knew that loko ba ku hlawula sweswi, loko ri pela ni majambu, ti van ti ta va ti handza lani, you will be able to tell them kuri kwala va nge u chairperson mi endla swa ku yini. It was not rosy. So today, when you begin to deal with elections, this all of this would volunteer to be chairpersons, will volunteer to be what? You go to a school where there is a deputy principalship, you would find all the members of that particular site have thrown their applications. All of them. Some of them have arrived yesterday. But all of a sudden, you want to be a deputy principal. You arrived just yesterday. Then it tells you that something somewhere is not fine. Something somewhere is not fine. Because if you are doing things accordingly, it will be like when you identify people during the process of, what do we call this process? The process where you use who last in, first out. When you see, why is it that when we want a person to move out, when in terms of the post-establishment we are many in this particular school and we want to offload one, why are we able to follow due processes and knowing each other in terms of seniority, that this one came first, followed by this one, followed by this one, followed by this one, until the last? Then we say we are using last in, first out. But when it comes to positions, why don't we follow the very same procedure? That is why, Makabana, I'm saying something somewhere is not fine. And it requires us, as this organization, to go back to the basics and begin to clearly introspect ourselves. Whether we're doing things the right way or not, as this organization. Because it can be correct that when things are palatable, you want to be number one. When things are bitter, you want to be last. It can be correct. Whether palatable or bitter, if you are destined to be number one, so be it. Comrades, we are supposed to elect our leaders. And I must indicate up front that leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is not selfish. Leadership is not arrogant. The militancy within leadership is guided. It does not abruptly come in a form of anarchy. Leadership is listening. Is it as a leader, you are a servant? Then a good servant must be a good listener. A good leader must be selfless. Let me echo this again. A good leader must be selfless. Meaning that you don't look at yourself. You look at the people that you lead. Then it must be them in return who will be looking at you. Comrades, if it were not because most of the leaders who founded this organization had some of those characteristics, we should not be talking about this organization today. Some of those leaders made sure that we accrue the benefits that we have today, but they never enjoyed those benefits. So as a leader, when you work for the organization, You don't work for the organization simply because you want to benefit. It must not be like that. You work for the organization so that the people that you serve must benefit. And in that manner, it becomes easy for the members to rally behind you, because they know that you can't lead them astray. They know that as a leader, you can always be trusted. They don't have some doubts in you. So those are the types of leaders that we need in our organization. You see, at times, loko tira na employer, then uhetelela utwa employer akubela mavoko akuri hawa vona loko ni ri na loyi swi famba kahle swilo. You must know that something is not fine. Immediately the employer claps hands and pat you on your shoulders. But equally so, we are not saying, understand me clearly, we are not saying that you must develop enmity with management of schools, with circuit managers, with whatever official. We are not saying you must develop enmity. Develop a good working relationship, but you must be able to draw a line. Some of our comrades, when deployed in promotional posts, the comrade today is the site steward of the organization. Immediately after being deployed and become the HOD, hayi na tshika leswa SADTU ani nge hi koti ku tirha kahle. Hey comrade, a wu swi koti ku tirha kahle njhani? Because the policies are very clear, and the policies that we are going to apply as an HOD are the very same policies which have been crafted by the employer together with us. For you is to guard whether you're doing exactly the right thing or not. So iyini leswi ku tsandzekisa ku tirha u site steward? Because we simply balance your things there and continue to lead our organization. And you are correctly positioned because Olaga SMT la, before you go out and tell the educators, no, lapa ngati siyayilahla. Then you correct things there. So you are better positioned because you are holding the position of power in both employer and the organization. So when you are disempowering us and say, no, aninge hey yal, then it means Now from where we will be seated, you know, say ifikile kanana. That is why I say why tukumet. Ufikile. That is why I say awarna makana hina. So it must not be like that, Mataban. And in fact, when we deploy you as a revolutionary cadre of this organization, we are secured. Because you know exactly what you are supposed to go and do there. So let us go back to the basics, Mataban, and build this giant organization. This branch in this region is the biggest branch. So once this branch is scattered, things fall apart. Once this branch is solid, it makes things easier to put this region together. So help us, assist us to unite this particular branch. Let us not celebrate when we see this branch divided, but we must celebrate the unity of this branch. And when we are put into the leadership of this branch, let us strive by all means to service the membership of this branch. In that way, we will be building SADTU. We will be building this giant organization. Let us not leave it dead. Let us make sure that whenever we leave the system, this branch remain intact and united more than ever before. The moment you drag this particular branch in the mud, you must know that you are dragging the legacy of Comrade Azaph Nxumalo in the mud. So to ensure that the legacy of Comrade Azaph Nxumalo is safe, the safety of his legacy is in our hands as members of this organization. I want to believe that we did not name this branch Azaph Nxumalo for the fun of it, but there were things which were informing us, which were compelling us to say we are renaming this particular branch from being Mkhuhlu into being Azaph Nxumalo branch of SADTU. So let us maintain that particular legacy. As I conclude, let me indicate that recently, before we could go to the May Day rally, we had an action wherein as SADTU, we came under the umbrella of the Congress of South African Trade Unions. And displayed our dissatisfaction with most of the things that are happening in and around our region and also our province. And like I said, I won't dwell much into that because I believe COSATU have talked much about that. We presented memorandums, and we cannot just be quiet. We are expecting answers to those particular memorandums because we even went to give them ultimatums that they should have responded to those particular issues at a particular given moment. And we cannot just be quiet as if nothing is happening. It says that we would need to go and search for those responses if they are not forthcoming. And you know the way of searching those responses. You flex your muscles, clean up your techies, then we go and enforce receiving those particular answers. So, comrades, stay mobilized as members of this organization. Whenever your services are required, come in your numbers so that we show to those powers that be who thought this organization has been liquidated, that the organization is intact and strong more than ever before. Mandla, 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 long live SADTU, long live. Long live SADTU, long live. Long live Azaph Nxumalo branch, long live. Mandla, 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 way to. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Comrade Chairperson, Comrade Mangena, for an educational speech.